I'd like to talk to you about the Million Student Challenge, how to gain a positively unfair advantage in school and in life. My goal is to affect 1 million students through 5,000 stages over the next 10 years. Just like you, I was a high school student. I came from a dysfunctional home, just like many of you have. I never thought my daughter would be in danger of dropping out from high school. But there I was, sitting in a guidance counselor's office, having paperwork being passed my way. My daughter was late to the meeting. This was certainly not her first tardy of the year. Rachel was bright yet failing. There was a lot of anger in her. And as we will discuss later, anger is one of the 4 major impediments to positive change. I have always had the power of positive persuasion through speech, and it was evident that day. I managed to get her and Mr. Erickson on the same path I had a vision for. I'm looking around the room, and I see some looks of recognition. Many of you have inspired some students across the finish line against much longer odds than that. My name is Ronald Hunt, and I'm here today to encourage you to incorporate what has worked with what I know will work. As an added benefit, the students not helped by this program will be generated into a list of your highest risk students that you can target going forward. Are you with me? In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to explain the multiple parts of the process. It starts with a seminar for the staff and administration, just like the one we are having today. It proceeds into an assembly for the 8th graders. It follows with an optional 4 bi-weekly modules. Attendees will get a motivational journal just for signing up. This will help them start journaling immediately and inspiring them for the future. Now, graduates will get special productivity training at the beginning of the freshman year. We call this the Squirrel Journal, and I have copies available for review. All these sessions start on Mondays because we are looking to get more of your students to school to begin the week. Only great things can happen from there. We will discuss the why of self-esteem and how that core issue will affect everything else. I will show you how the Million Student Challenge process will help change that. Meditation, visualization, neuro-linguistic programming, and the power of stages will increase self-esteem and motivation. Once we get those established, the power of potential will be returned. How do we do this? Changing the behavior of self-esteem is certainly a huge goal. Our enemies are hunger, anger, loneliness, and fatigue. HALT for short. Our superpowers are willpower, analytics, and rational behavior. WAR for short. Our strategies, habits, impulses, and physiological control will determine our direction. SHIP for short. Once we show the students that they can control the SHIP, they will regain the self-confidence to know there will be better days ahead, making positive changes to their thoughts and actions. We're going to try the same exercise that I start the students with. We're going to involve your 5 senses and show you how they can help visualize a better future. Here is a picture of the sunrise. Study it for a few seconds. Now close your eyes. What colors were in the sunrise? Were there any other visual things that you can remember? Can you see the raindrops on the grass from the morning dew? Can you smell the cleanness of the air? What does it sound like? Is there a train passing through in the background? What does that sound like? Now open your eyes. That is today's introduction to a guided meditation. You are probably a little more relaxed than you were, and I'm here to show you that you can use this technique as much as you want, almost whenever you want. It will serve you well, and eventually the hope is it will serve your friends and families. Then it can serve your neighborhood, and so forth. This is the power of using words and stages to change your life. This will be an opportunity for you if you want it. I like to begin meditations with intentional breathing, and we will do a little bit of that later. We can memorize other pictures as well, in our lives, in movies, and in our mind. We can remember them when we need motivation in our lives. When the times are toughest, you need to be able to see a better future. If you roll with us through the next 2 months, I promise you, I will see you on the other side, and you will not be the same person. Now, I ask you, how do you feel? Relaxed and receptive? That's an awesome place to be, don't you think? Whether you have never experienced meditation for yourself or are a yogi, most of you have seen the studies of its efficacy. I expect the rest of you to Google that or ask for my research. In Meditation 2, we build in a little neuro-linguistic programming and ask the students to involve more of their sensory perception. That is the kickoff assembly and can work for your students as a standalone or in conjunction with our follow-up programs. We offer the 4-part biweekly sessions to establish individual advancements through the process: belief, acceptance, planning, and incorporation. Every student who chooses to participate by signing up through our app or texting will get these meditations and gratitudes on their phone. If they miss a session, they get a virtual make-good. If they miss 2, they will appear on an Excel spreadsheet of your most at-risk students. How much better can all of you focus your skills and interventions once we have identified them for you? What do you think? Every student who attends all 4 sessions has a welcome gift the first Monday of freshman year, a copy of our Squirrel Journal. This 91-day plan will change their organizational skills for life. Chicago has been the testing ground for meditation in schools. They are using transcendental meditation, and there have been some results to report. Reduced suspensions, increased concentration in class, increased test scores, better student behavior, and their teachers feel better too. Neuro-linguistic programming has been successfully used since its introduction in the 1970s. The combination of visualization and touch has been instrumental in reinforcing positive behaviors, in addition to allowing us to confront our challenges. Stages have been with us for thousands of years. My hope is that some of this year's graduates help refine their why on stages going forward, perhaps even to help teach this course next year when you start to see results. It's always important to help your student identify opportunities, whether it's free coding classes through Google, educational experiences offered online, or scholarships. I will provide you a list of links today if you sign up for more information. Districts that choose to work with us are usually able to defer some or all of the costs through grants. This course will work with every other method you are currently using to increase graduation rates. Let us help you help our students. You can also consider what the additional revenue from more students attending may mean in terms of reimbursement. When I saw my daughter, who has an amazing career as a chef in Colorado a few years ago, she asked, "Will you get up with me early tomorrow morning? We can watch the sunrise." I said, "Yes," and went back to my room and thought, well, the one thing I didn't realize is how early the sun actually comes up. My alarm went off at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was so tempted to hit the snooze button and just crawl back under the covers, but I didn't. I shut off the alarm, I got out of bed, and I drove over to her, just as the sun was crossing the horizon. I picked her up, and we watched the sunrise. It was absolutely an amazing sunrise. My daughter and I were there, and it was just this moment. My daughter's still far away, so we don't see each other that often anymore. But we were able to share this moment, and I think of it always. It was a time that I'll never forget. This is what I've learned. It's always tempting to hit the snooze button and not take action. But it's the people who take action that get to have those moments. The people who take action reap all of the benefits. Now is the time for you to take action.